out of his glove, fighting the sunshine. Might need those sunglasses.
You think so? You think you'd start? You would think this is your home park and you'd start the game with the glasses you're going to need. Woo! Look at the snow cone.
Fast time, Freddie. Got to bring the sunglasses out because you need them. You mentioned.
Yeah, well, it sort of surprised him today. It didn't look like it was going to come out.
But you talk about what Friedel's been able to do from the leadoff spot. Think about what the Dodgers have in their first three guys in the order. The Reds are doing the same thing scoring-wise as the Dodgers are from the top of the lineup.
Up here working with senior sarcasm today. He's even starting the game with sunglasses.
Look,
I'm wearing them.
Yeah.
About time.
Pitch outside. I mean, look at my man. He got the shades on.
Well, you have to have them on. It's a day game.
He's getting ready to go back there.
And I'm in the shade.
No eye black, though?
He's getting ready to go back there.
That's going on after the first.
Espinal takes a strike.
I didn't think they'd come up here and show me so quickly. We'll have wristbands on and everything.
We might break a sweat today for the first time.
That's good.
Espinal, a guy that puts the ball in play. He's gone 25 consecutive plate appearances without a strikeout, and the count now 2-2. He was 1 for 4 in the series opener. Came in last night late for defense. Chops it foul.
Early in the first inning.
Hey,
it's got that finder again.
Put my sunglasses on. They come right at me.
Did you see it?
Come on, man.
You got stylish sunglasses. Look at you.
Trying to fit in.
Logan Allen's 2-2 is hit toward left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Nolan Jones out there in left today. So 1 on, 1 out.
Oh, man.
It went into the photo pit.
What's this?
What just happened?
They tried to throw behind the runner and get him at first base. Arias threw it in the dugout. So error, go to second base. I mean, he wasn't off the base. That wasn't even close. I don't know. Uncalled for error.
2 bases though?
What's that?
It's 2 bases?
Yeah, because he was in the outfield. Oh, boy. Runner at third, 1 down. Ellie De La Cruz, infield in. Pitches up high. De La Cruz has hit in each of the first 2 games of the series. He swings through it, 1-1. Chopped it foul, almost picked off Espinal on foul ground. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fastball missed up high.
Little too high. It's a good try. You want to try and get him upstairs if you can with 2 strikes and get him to chase something.
Spike, nice pick. Tried to go to the changeup, but doesn't have a good feel for it here early. That was a good spot for the changeup, but he didn't execute it.
Yeah, watch this scoop. I mean, that's tough to go. His body wasn't there, so it's a good thing he caught that ball. That would have been an easy run.
That's a Stanley Cup save right there.
Yes, it is.
Payoff pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third. Jose runs him back, throws him out, 2 away. Well, you could see the internal clock of Jose Ramirez. He thought, I'm going to take a look in case Espinal was a little tardy getting back.
I mean,
he knew he had time.
Espinal did a good job to get back. I thought he was going to get him there, but he wasn't as far off as I thought. But Jose gave it a look, and then you get across the diamond for out number 2. Now a chance to get out of the inning.
Christian Encarnacion Stram looks at ball 1 outside. Came off the injured list and hit everything in sight in his first 3 games. They've held him to 1 for 8 in the series. His first 3 games after he was activated from the injured list with that back injury, he went 7 for 13 with 6 runs batted in. Terry Francona says of Christian Encarnacion Strand, he has quote-unquote silly power to all fields.
It looks like it.
2-1 pitch. Weak ground ball to short. Arias sets, throws, and gets him. So they get out of some early trouble here. On today and then tomorrow, give him 2 days off. You know, he's still been fighting through that nagging little wrist soreness, so he figures that's a good time to give him a breather.
Yeah, more than 1 day is nice.
Lane Thomas 1 for 3 of the series. A couple of walks and a stolen base. He came on Friday night. Came in last night as a pinch runner. Popped up, first base, foul ground, Strand. Balls it in, 1 down.
Well, let's take a look at Nick Lodolo, who's making the start for Cincinnati. Big guy, 6'6", 220 pounds. His career, he won his last start at 24. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. But this guy on the road's been very good. He's got a 1.25 ERA on the road and has given just 1 home run.
In the past, Rick, Lodolo's been a guy with a big looping curveball, got a lot of swing and misses. Last year, he averaged better than 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. This year, the strikeout rate with the breaking ball is down significantly. And he said, you know, early in my career, I didn't really have a changeup. But now he's incorporating that changeup, and he feels like he's a more complete pitcher.
Yeah, he can throw that breaking ball and add the changeup to it. That's a lot what Logan Allen did with the sweeper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's getting the right-handers with that sweeper away, and he's using cutter and fastball in on the hands more. And he's hit about, 8 or 9 guys.
He's hit 8 guys, which is the second most in baseball. And I was asking you guys before the game, why do you think that's the case? Because he sees mostly righties, so it's got to. That was that pitch right there.
Yeah, it could be that breaking ball, back foot slide.
Yeah, it's got to be that.
You know, you got to keep the right-handers honest, and if you miss, you want to miss in off the plate.
The other thing is, Matt, from this angle, he almost looks like Chris Sale a little bit from the angle I'm at. I forgot he was this tall and lanky.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
What did Tito call him? He looked like a baby deer.
Yeah. Trying to find his legs. He's got long legs.
couple of years ago, Lodolo, Hunter Green, and Graham Ashcraft, they all met in Nashville in the offseason. They called it jokingly a changeup summit. They all tried to work on the changeup. He's the only one that it really took. Pitch up high.
Hunter Green's got some other things that are taking it, so I can see why it's not working with it. But yeah, I can know what you mean. But this is the basis of why the Reds think they've got a great future, though. The guy we saw last night, Lodolo, and then you put Green with it.
And then Abbott, who's 26.
Right.
David Fry looking at a 3-2 count. Lodolo challenged him with a fastball, and he fouls it back.
Sure did.
He's got plenty of velo.
Yeah, 97.
And it's up and away, ball 4 with a fastball. Statcast.
About 81.
Well, like we've been saying all spring, it hasn't really been warm. Today it's finally warm. Maybe he's a little loose. He's letting it cut, letting it eat.
Yes, he is. Arch, what do you take from the game plan that the Guards had yesterday? How do you think they attack Guardians hitters after what we saw Abbott do yesterday?
Well, they were aggressive.
Yes.
They've been aggressive in the series, facing left-hander after left-hander. But you know what? That's fine. They made 54 outs in those first 2 games, but they've made over half. They made 25, about 39 outs on 3 pitches or less. But they were being aggressive.
They preyed upon the aggression, and that helped. Abbott said that helped him get through 9 innings because of the short innings he had in the
but sometimes you got to hit balls and you get base hits. Sometimes you don't. When you have that approach and you don't get your hit, you can't be upset. I mean, they had some pitches.
Hammer, deep left field. Hampson on the run. It is off the top of the wall. Fry got a great read. All the way to third. He's coming home. He's going to score. It's 1-0 Cleveland. Jose Ramirez with a double high off the left field wall. It just missed getting out of here. But David Fry had such a good read that he was all the way around second base. And it made it rather easy for Rugi Odor to wave him home. Did you see Fry? He had such a good look at it. He knew there was no way they were going to catch it. It was just a matter of would it be over or off the wall. Now Ramirez in scoring position for Carlos Santana, and it's up high.
That's the 15th double for Jose. And he keeps climbing the ladder, too. Earl April, he just passed with that one.
Santana off to the right.
That time, that ties in with Arias for doubles, team leader. And they have a 1-0 lead.
You know, I also said doubles big. 70% of their hits over this month so far have been singles. Yes, thank you.
We've seen so many of that today. I mean, just, hey, there's nothing wrong with base hits.
Oh.
But every once in a while, you need to mix in a gapper. Ball hit off the wall like that. Now Santana with a 2-1 count. Trying to keep the heat on. Santana had an RBI single in the series opener. His lone hit thus far against Cincinnati in this 3-game series. Ramirez breaks for third. Here's the throw. It's a good one. But Posey beat the tag. It's his 20th stolen base on the year. Trevino got off a good throw.
It was a great throw. De La Cruz got one yesterday. He knew he had to get back down.
Yeah, you can see that hand hits the base before Espinal can tag the shoulder.
Infield comes in, 2-2 count for Santana. That was up and a little in, full count. See if he goes to the changeup to try to get a ground ball.
I'd throw the fastball in and try and jam him.
One it up. And Santana pops it up. And a good execution.
Yeah, that was a breaking ball. It sure was. And he got him to pop it up. That's what he was looking for.
Here you go. Jose passing Earl Averill in the
white picture.
You roomed with him, right?
Bill Schneck, yeah. He'll tell you the ones.
I know.
There goes the bat. And Arias is having himself an interesting first inning.
No question about it. What is going on? No glasses, threw a ball in the dugout, and then throws the bat in his dugout. That's a tough first inning.
Makes you wonder if you should have got out of bed.
I hope it gets better.
I've been there.
I'm sure we all have at one point.
2 down, runner at third. And another swing and a miss. At a curveball. It's 0-2. He keeps swinging. You got to keep throwing it. And why not? Struck him out on 3 pitches. But the Guardians strike first on a Jose Ramirez RBI double off the wall in left field, scoring. We're heading out of town.
Hey, thanks for coming. Have a nice day.
Spencer Steer leading off the second inning. 2 for 5 in the series with a run batted in. and sails one high. Now the 2-1. And Steer takes. It's off the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Generous.
Yeah.
Full count.
Got a call. Well, that's what we talked about last night with the Cincinnati team. They're a patient team on that first pitch. They're looking for one pitch and one pitch only. If they don't get it, they usually don't swing. So the key to getting ahead is see if you can hit a quality strike and pitch from in front.
You know, I asked Stephen Vogt about that before the game. You know, when you're catching, when you're in a series, we heard Cody Allen talk about the Reds' approach.
Right.
They sit on particular pitches. And how do you pick up on that as a catcher as the game goes on? Great pitch. He came back and got him. And it was a changeup to get his first strikeout of the afternoon. One down here in the second.
There you go. Changeup, down and in.
Catcher number 35.
Good pitch.
Good
It's a swing and miss, yes.
He said at the end of the day, you still have to, you know, pitch to your strengths. And it comes down to what we just saw, executing your pitch.
Right.
He said, obviously, if you can pick up on a hitter's tendencies, if they spit on a certain pitch, you can kind of get an idea, okay, he's sitting on something else.
Yeah, you eliminate.
So you use your eyes, you work off of that. But he said you can't ever go away from what that pitcher does well.
Yeah, his best pitch or pitch is.
And he said, hey, the other night they had 16 hits. And sometimes you just have to doff your cap to them and say, hey, they got us. They were on it. And they did a great job. And when you don't execute, that's what big league hitters do.
Yeah, execution's the key, and location. You know, if you throw them down the middle of the plate, good hitters are going to let you know that you made a bad pitch. And even anybody in that lineup can do that.
Jose Trevino getting his first start in the series behind the plate. Swing and a miss. Logan Allen with another changeup, and that one was a different shape than the one he struck out Spencer Steer with. Watch the action on this one. Turns it over a little bit more.
Yeah, that one stayed away. That's a good one.
In the 7th position, right fielder, number 17.
So back-to-back strikeouts, and that's a big thing. Once they get on the board, your job is to go out and get 3 quick outs and get that offense back into the dugout.
Connor Joe looks at a fastball away.
Watch his last 2 strikeouts, the pitches. This one, a little different, going in, down and in. It just didn't get there. This one's going away. That ball's had a little movement going outside off the dish.
Inside corner, a strike call. Hit off the end of the bat, a roller to short. Arias, high throw. Santana comes down on the bag. And they get the out. Oh, shaky start for Arias. takes a fastball called a strike. It's 0-2. Jones, one of 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup today. They don't have any other right-handed hitters. The 4 guys on the bench, all left-handed bats. Austin Hedges on the concussion IL. Dom Nunez, the backup catcher, left-handed hitter in there today, along with Jones. Back to even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's way off the plate.
Well, had him down 0-2. He's got it down to back into the count. 3-2.
Payoff pitch. And wow, the Reds thought it was strike 3. But Nolan Jones gets a reprieve and he'll take ball 4. Lester Seha calls it a ball. And it did look, where he caught it, it looked like it was off the plate, but the computer graphic showing it may have crossed the plate in the zone. Down low, ball 1 to Jonathan Rodriguez as we take a look at Bet365 betting odds today. Rodriguez 1 out of 5 in the series. You know, thinking about that pitch that was ball 4 to Jones, that if you're an umpire, that's got to be the toughest one to call because
You're
it's
sitting
cutting.
on the inside. It's moving.
And where you see him catch it, it's off the plate. But how do you? I mean, are your eyes good enough, do you think, from that position to see it maybe clip the corner before he catches
That'd
it?
be tough to do because they're sitting, usually on the inside part of that plate. So you guess out there. You may guess. And he had him down 0-2, and that's his fault for not throwing one on the plate before that. And then he was ball 1 to Rodriguez.
Checked his swing, but he couldn't hold up. 2-2 for Rodriguez. One to hit. He likes to extend the arms. That pitch might look like it's away, but for him, that's probably in the sweet spot.
Well, and that's the one you want to put in play and at least hit it hard. You may not get a hit, but it's out of your control. If you hit it hard, you don't need to foul those off when you get them.
2-2. Up and away. Breaking ball. Full count. Here's Dom Nunez waiting on deck. Leadoff man aboard here in the second. Guardians up 1-0. Amendola fires to first, but Jones, a very modest lead, able to get back easily. He got a big lead this time. Not running. Packed back our way and into the seats. Rodriguez has seen 7 pitches. There goes Jones. Swing and a miss. Throw down in plenty of time. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Now that's the chance you take when you start the runner with a left-hander. You got to hope that the guy puts the ball in play, and Rodriguez could not do that. He swung on the ball out of the zone. And there goes a nice throw by Trevino to get Jones. Strike him out, throw him out.
So with 2 down, Don Nunez to the plate. Nunez in his second game with the Guardians, 0 for 3 in his first. Spent the last 2 years in the minor leagues. Last big league appearance before this year was in 22 with Colorado. Struck him out looking. 1-0 Cleveland after 2.
Starter ERA, bullpen the same. 8 homers.
Matt McLean trying to hold up. He went. Just a little low. 3 balls and a strike. McLean 0 for 7 in the series. And he checks on a high fastball. Ball 4. First walk issued by Logan. Reds get their leadoff man aboard for the first time today. And we'll get a word right here from Cleveland Clinic.
When you make complexities your specialties.
Fastball strike clips the outside corner. Garrett Hampson began the year with Arizona. He was designated for assignment in early May. Made his Reds debut on May 26th, and ironically, it was in Kansas City against the club he used to play for.
Yeah, that's where we remember him from. He did the same thing last year, and he's bounced around a lot.
In that game, he had his first multi-hit game of the year, so they got a little taste of what we deal with. Former guy comes to town and beats you up. Just outside.
Logan's pitching from behind today. He normally gets that strike one and goes to work. And between the first 3 pitches, he usually stays ahead in the count. But today he hasn't been able to do it, but he's been fine.
Ground ball to third. Jose goes to second. There's one on Hill. Turns 2. They go around the horn. Pretty slick fielding there.
Well, you see how quickly that Ramirez got rid of the ball and gave Martinez just a beautiful feed. Look at really quick. There it is, a strike. Right there at the shoulders where all he has to do is catch it, turn it, and throw it to first. Very nice.
Top half of the third, 1-0 Guardians on top. 2 down, bases empty for TJ Friedel. And he takes breaking ball in there for a strike. Friedel popped up on the infield his only time up. Fouled right back. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 down, third inning. And it dips low. Up and away with the fastball, full count. Starting to go through the order for the second time today. We'll see how Logan Allen navigates his way through. Swing and a miss. He gets his 3rd strikeout this afternoon. And we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Guardians. Play baseball too,
I
right?
wanted to play baseball. It was in my blood. I've been playing since 3rd grade, and I batted .499 in high school, I think. And it was a great sport. It was just,
What position did you play, Marcus?
basically in high school, well, Little League, I played every position: first base, second base, wherever they,
Wherever you want to play.
I was a catcher and pitcher, and in high school I pitched in first base and catch.
Angel Martinez leading off the bottom of the third. But Barry Switzer didn't want you playing both sports?
He did not want me playing both.
Yeah, back then you weren't allowed to.
So Bobby Witt was my sweet mate. He was like, Marcus, you should play baseball. Did you play high school? I'm like, yeah. I would love to play. I said, but you guys go ask Coach Switzer if I can play. Not me. So,
line drive, base hit left field. So the Guardians get their leadoff man aboard. And for fans listening, Marcus is talking about Bobby Witt Sr. Now, Bobby Witt Jr. is tearing it up.
Right.
But his old man was a really good pitcher. Pitched with Cleveland for a little bit. So he was one of your college guys.
Yeah, we were friends. He lived right across the hall. We talked every day. And I hadn't talked to him in a while, so I was going to try to get in touch with him to just congratulate his son. And, 40 years, I guess 40, whatever. 50 years, 40 years ago, we were in school together.
It goes by fast, doesn't it?
It flies by, I tell you what. I was talking to Coach Switzer the other day. He said, Marcus, I don't buy green bananas anymore.
Now, you're in town. You're going to be giving out a big award coming up here, right?
I am. The first Player of the Year, Marcus Dupree Player of the Year award, kind of like the Heisman Trophy. And it's a great honor for me to be still alive, to be able to present the first one. And I'm looking forward to it.
Now, do we know who the winner is? Has it been announced, or is that still under wraps?
Yeah, we already know Tavion St. Clair. He signed with Ohio State, and
wow.
Oh, nice.
I think he probably will end up starting before the year's out, probably.
All right. Now, what position? We talking running back, quarterback?
Quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a big one. He's a good one. Marcus, I love meeting you. I'm just trying to figure out how anybody ever tackled you, man.
Me too.
I always thought that same thing. No.
But even by running back standards of your era, you were one of the bigger running backs.
Yes, I was 6'3", 230, ran a 4.2 40, bench press 450, and squatted 5, worked out with 500 pounds. So Coach Switzer said I was a beast from another planet. I was for this planet.
I showed Rick one of your highlights from your college days.
A breakaway run,
wow.
Yes.
I mean, he said he's going 5 yards with one stride.
A couple of strides. It was 2 strides. He got 5 yards.
Runner goes, pitch lined up the middle into center field. That'll send Martinez all the way to third. Executed perfectly, and the Guardians have runners at the corners with nobody out. I think we figured out the Guardians' offensive issues. We just needed Marcus Dupree in the field.
There you go. Bring me back. Sign me up. One-day signing. One-day contract.
We need some offense. That's right.
Now, that's what I love to do. I love people used to come watch me just hit the ball. Even in Little League. I love sitting up there hitting the ball.
Marcus, I know it's been a time since you played, but I got to tell you, when you were down here on the field, I had almost every player come up to me and say, that guy was a running back. And finally, JT McGuire, our outfield coach, said, that guy was the truth. Go look at YouTube.
Yeah, go look it up on YouTube, exactly. That's the thing about today, Marcus. You don't have to tell people your story. You can just say, just go look it up.
Google it.
Yep,
Exactly.
it's there.
Exactly. There's just no telling back then. We'd have had the internet back then. Oh, my God.
It might be a good thing we didn't have it back then.
In more ways than one.
Right.
Now, are you a fan of modern baseball? Do you watch baseball?
I do. I watch all, what's his name? Tim. He works with, I guess, the league. He brought the, it's called the Biloxi Shuckers to Mississippi.
Not the Savannah Bananas.
No. Tim Bennett.
Okay.
He works with the Major League Baseball some kind of way. I met him a couple times. Just met him the other day while I was down that way. And he helped bring the team to Biloxi. And, the one is in Pearl, Mississippi.
Okay.
So you were from Alabama, is that right?
No, I'm from Mississippi.
You are from Mississippi.
Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Line drive. Foul ball by inches. Oh, it was right down the chalk, and it just looked foul. And we'll have to re-rack him here with runners at the corners and nobody out. Another look. It was close.
He got the head out in front, and look at the hook on it. And, I mean, it just missed by about a foot or two.
Oh, wow.
Good angle right there to see that one.
Growing up in Mississippi, who were did you have a team you rooted for? Were the Braves your team?
The Braves, yes. Definitely the Braves.
1-2 pitch to Fry. And he fights it off.
Rafael Palmeiro and all those guys played at Mississippi State. So
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yes.
Clark.
Yep.
Rafael Palmeiro.
They were a little before you, right?
Yeah, that's why I said we used to watch it at Mississippi State. Go up and watch the games and stuff like that.
2 on, nobody out. David Fry. He just missed. Scalding one down the left field line. And the back foot slider, he missed. 2-2. I think you're right, Andre. I think that's the pitch. When he's hit batters, if that gets away, it's a tough one to command. You want to get that good bite down on him, but not careful. You might clip a guy on the back foot. Here's the 2-2. Got him with a high fastball.
Yeah. That pitch set up that fastball up and away there, too. So he'll get his 4th strikeout.
I guess I had that. Football.
Oh my God!
Compared to when you play with the NIL deals, you'd have been a millionaire before you left high school.
I always tell this story when I go out and speak. I was telling it this weekend. My mom in 1982 was talking NIL back then. She came to a game, and so in the stands, and we got 80,000 people in the stands, and they all had Ron Marcus run on them. So I walk out the locker room, and she goes, "Marcus, are they paying you for all these shirts in the stands?" I'm like, "No, ma'am, they're not." She goes, "Well, okay, we're going to fix that problem. You go to the dorm, and I'll be over there in a minute. I'm going to talk to Coach Switzer." Next thing I know, I was getting $1,000, $2,000 under my bed mattress.
Oh, just underneath. Huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Today it would be all on the level, and you'd be making a lot more than that.
Yeah, yes indeed. Yes indeed.
It's kind of crazy.
I probably would have asked for Allwell though.
That's not a bad deal. Why not?
The heck with the cash.
No.
Give me an oil one.
I was in Oklahoma the other day, and I got to go. Matter of fact, go back over there on Sunday. So this lady wanted me to come meet her dad. He had like 6 or 7 Allwells, right? And he had cancer, he was dying, whatever. I said, "Well, sir, Coach Switzer said."
Carlos Santana, deep center field. It is
gone.
Grand slam. I told you, Arch, we just need the old running back up there.
Yes, indeed.
Carry the rock. And the Guardians score 4 in the 3rd.
And that's Santana going oppo, man.
That was crunched.
Yeah, it was. He juiced today, and it's a little warmer today, and it feels much better.
Yes, it does.
What a difference. What a difference a day makes.
You're probably used to this weather in Mississippi. It's been so cold up here all year long. It's the first nice day we've had.
Last week it was 95 all week. And then I just got back from California. I was in California for the last 4 days. It was hot out there, but still you can't get used to this heat. I'm not used to sitting down in them stands and the heat beating on me, boy. I'm telling you.
Carlos Santana, with one swing of the bat, has extended the Guardians' lead to 5-0 now here in inning number 3.
It's a nice stadium.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah,
built in 1994.
I was telling Warren on the way over here, I said, "Man, I remember coming up here in 92, maybe, and we played in that old stadium, the Rams of Cleveland."
Yeah.
It was bad.
Oh, yeah, the one on the lake.
Oh, it's bad.
It's a little chilly.
That wasn't a Monday night game by any chance,
No,
was it? Okay.
no.
I remember Eric Dickerson and the Rams came on a Monday night one time. Did you play with Eric, or did you?
He got just left.
He had just left. Okay. 5th strikeout for Lodolo. 2 down here in inning number 3. I mean, you had a pretty good era of running backs, not just.
Oh my God! Think about Errol Campbell, Eric Dickerson, Kurt Warner. Who else?
We had a game. It was recently, a couple of years ago, when they were honoring all those guys. Where were we playing?
I can't remember.
Walter Payton. I mean, it was
Yeah. Billy Sims.
Yep, Billy Sims.
Oh, baby.
And then Barry Sanders.
Yep.
Thurman Thomas. And we can go on and on and on.
It's a list. It's a list.
So when are you giving your award away at the Hall of Fame?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Good. So you're here through the weekend.
Yes.
Have you been in Ohio since you played that game in Cleveland Stadium in 1992?
The only time was like 2023 when I came for the induction to the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, you picked a good time to come this year. Here's the 1-2 to Jones. Way outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lodolo lets it fly, and a weak ground ball towards third. Marcus, thanks so much for coming by.
Well, thank you, guys.
Awesome to meet you and to catch up.
Anytime.
Have a great time in Ohio.
I will.
Marcus Dupree will be giving out the Marcus Dupree National High School Football Player of the Year Award in Canton. It's now 5-0 Guardians. Espinal singled his first time up. Arch, I have to tell you, doing this as long as we've done it and having the privilege, I call it a privilege, to meet so many of the game's all-time greats, Hall of Famers, been able to rub elbows with, like Dennis Eckersley and guys all over the league, Jim Palmer. I'm still giddy meeting Marcus Dupree.
Yeah,
because
well,
when I was in high school,
guy.
he was the man. I mean, he was a larger-than-life figure. And what a down-to-earth person on top of it. Center field. Lane Thomas goes back to grab it. 1 down. Let's check in with Andre Gray. Is Jose Ramirez, he's back out there. It looked like that hurt when he got hit by the pitch.
It looked like it, but looks can be deceiving, they say. Now, when he got hit by that pitch, he went down in a heap, and it looked like he was really hurt, right? But when he's laying there, he waited until the umpire came over, and he goes, that hit my bat. That was... wasn't it Albert Bell that got hit the one time and wouldn't go to first?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who it was that hit him. He might have been in Baltimore.
He was in Baltimore when it happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody plunked him, and he was arguing with the umpires like, no, I don't want to go to first base.
So Hosey is feeling so good, he's like, no, I want to swing the bat, not walk down there on a hit by pitch.
Well, the way he's swinging it, you can't blame him.
I'll tell you what, Dre. Had the umpire said, you know what, it was a foul ball, Tito might have challenged that.
No doubt.
Said, no, it hit him. Put him on first base. Ellie Dela Cruz sends one high into the bleachers. Wow. Halfway up. A solo shot. His 13th home run of the year gets the Reds on the board. It's now 5-1 here in the fourth.
Well, there was no question about that. He gets those arms extended. He can hit it a long way. And for De La Cruz, that's his 13th homer. Let's see the pitch. That little slider?
Yeah, he was looking in, and he got it.
That was a little slider in there, and it was inside, too. Allen gives up his 6th home run.
When Sandy Alomar played during the 1990s, that was a regular occurrence to see a ball hit that far up into the bleachers. Nowadays, that's more of a rarity. Not saying it doesn't happen, but it doesn't happen with the frequency as it did when Sandy and his guys were playing.
Oh, man, those guys, they could hit.
They made this park look small.
Yes, they sure did. That lineup through the 90s absolutely did. There's a lot of them that did, no matter where you went.
Hall of Famer Jim Thome, Eddie Murray, Albert, Manny.
Well, guys like Sorrento and guys that, your first baseman, and everybody could hit it.
The 1-2. Swung out and missed. Pitch to Encarnacion Strand. Goes down swinging. 4th strikeout for Logan Allen. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Don't want to leave out our buddy next door, Carlos Baerga. He can hit a home run every now and then, too.
Yes. He was a hit machine.
Back-to-back 200 hit seasons.
Yeah. To me, that's the ultimate right there. When you can get 200 hits in a year, that's a heck of a year. Forget how many runs or you drive in or homers you hit.
And to do it back-to-back, that's quite a run. Spencer Steer takes the 0-1 pitch and bounces it to short. Arias throws him out. Reds get on the board on the solo homer by De La Cruz. Middle of the 4th, 5-1 Guardians.
Monday. Everybody's.
We were up there one of these days.
We were up there at the start of this homestand with Cincinnati.
When you're Rick Manning, every day's Friday.
It will be.
Swinging a foul into the mitt. Off the bat of Jonathan Rodriguez. Struck out his first time up. Nick Lodolo has him down 0-2. Lodolo has struck out 5. He's only walked 2 batters, but he hit a batter in that 3rd inning. to load the bases, and then Carlos Santana hit a grand slam.
They've been much more patient this afternoon with Lodolo. Because this guy, he came into the...
Did he hold on? They hit the dirt.
Yeah.
Hit the dirt.
Oh, boy. He came in with only 2 walks. He had 14 walks coming into the game in 75 2/3 innings.
But I think you hit on it. They've been more patient.
Yeah.
And made him get in the strike zone.
Get in the strike zone. And you know what? Santana certainly didn't miss his pitch going to right center field.
And I told you the hit by pitch may come in.
Yeah, it came into play.
Yeah.
That's what they needed, a big crooked number like that, instead of just a solo.
Struck him out looking. Got a fastball. Couldn't pull the trigger. Injury report today brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. We're headed out west. We'll be playing the Giants after 3.
And they're a one-run machine over there.
Yes, they are. Every game is one run.
Giants start today just a half game back of the Dodgers in the NL West.
And they're doing it by pitching, and they're just winning the one-run games, and it doesn't matter.
Chapman fits there so well.
Well, he's played with
Matt Williams being there with them.
Matt Williams and the manager.
Yes, that's right.
You know, he's played for him in Oakland.
1-1 to Nunez, so he ain't going to miss. The Giants a half game back of the Dodgers, and then the Padres are only a game back. 3-team race right now. Arizona a game under 500. They're 6.5 out.
Yeah, the Padres and the Dodgers are going at it for 7 games in the next 11 days. And they've split the first 2.
I saw our guy Kike Hernandez pitching in like the 6th inning. Was that last night already?
Yeah. It's 2 1/3 innings.
Yeah. Wearing a helmet on the mound.
Don't blame him.
Either.
You're not throwing that hard, you're letting him hit it. Surprised he didn't go out in catcher's gear.
Full count. Ground ball towards third. Backhanded by Espinal. Long throw. Nope, couldn't get a grip on it. He was getting ready to let go, but thought better of it. Nunez has himself an infield single. One out in the 4th inning. Have really taken it to him with 5 runs on 5 hits. He leaves with 1 on, 1 out in the 4th. situation to pass on to the youngsters. 1 on, 1 out. Angel Martinez. Swing and a miss. Lyon Richardson is the new pitcher for Cincinnati, making his 15th appearance of the year. He's been dynamite. In 14 games, he's pitched 17 innings, and he's given up 2 earned runs.
There you go. Well, this is where you need guys in that bullpen that you got to try and keep the score where it is right now. You know, a 4-run game if you're Cincinnati.
This is a good sign right here, though, Rick. Angel Martinez now 2 for 2 today. He came in 4 for his last 41.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting it together. He was out here.
When your swing gets long, like he admitted his hand.
Right.
What is the best thing to do to get back to having that short, quick swing that we've seen?
Get back to the basics, man. You get back to middle, out here button, stay in the middle part of the field. But you know, when you're a switch hitter, you got to maintain both sides of the plate.
Yeah.
And he was really swinging well from the right side, but I think that's what might have hurt him because he started to, he was hitting over 400 there for a while, then fell off, and he got down to the 270. So he says, I got to get myself going because now you're facing more left-handed pitching.
Matt brought this up with Stephen Vogt. We talked to Stephen Vogt about this. There's so many young guys that are learning the ebbs and flows of what it's like to play every day. And Angel, I think, is a perfect example. You come up and you get hot. You know there's going to be some times when you're not, but you got to get back out of it quicker.
You got to shorten the slumps, let's say, or you got to know how to get through it.
And that's got to be one of the toughest parts of being a young player that's finally getting some time, right?
But here's the thing, Dre, and this is something Arch has talked about, and that is, in the case of Angel Martinez, you live with those struggles because how else can a guy become an everyday player if he doesn't know how to go through the ups and downs? So many of the other young players are involved in platoon situations.
Bingo.
When you go like Daniel Schneemann for almost a whole week and you don't play at all, that's tough.
That's how a lot of these guys have gone. Now you're getting a chance to get Manzardo.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't get him out of the lineup. Now we've seen all these left-handers. Now you can't get him in the lineup.
You almost forgot he was on the team.
He gets a pinch hit appearance, and he's been struggling, so now he's trying to press to get base hits anytime he can. And that's what happens when we got, like I said, I think too many situations where guys are going to play. They play different positions. You got to select some guys that are going to play every day and give them a true opportunity to play every day. That's how you come out of it and get your way through it. You don't play 1 day or 2 days and then get some time off. And you got to grind your way through it, man. Got to learn how to play when you're hurt.
Yeah, baseball is such a rhythm-based game. If you're playing and then sitting and then playing and then sitting for a couple days, that rhythm gets away from you.
You just can't get anything flowing. And then you start trying too hard because you start chasing the hits. You start chasing everything. You try doing too much. You just got to learn, I know I'm going to get 4 at-bats. I'm going to go in my box and just give them the best ABs I can give them. And this game will always get you because, if you're going well, they're going to find your weakness and they're going to attack it.
The odds are with the pitcher.
Sure. You're going to fail.
7 out of 10 times, he's going to win.
That's if you're really good. Hey, maybe 8. True. Sometimes maybe 9.
But I think I heard David Fry say this the other day. Doesn't matter who it was. It's a common refrain. When you're going through those struggles or when you're a young player and you're not playing a lot, you go up there and you're trying to get 2 hits and 1 at bat.
Correct. You chase it. You're chasing the hits. And you start swinging at everything instead of discipline and swinging at your pitch.
Good at bat here for Manzardo. He's got the count 3-2.
And see, what do we say when you get in that bat and you're not swinging well? Sometimes it helps to get up there to see 6, 7, 8 pitches in that bat. So you start getting an idea where that plate is. Inside, outside. You're not chasing pitches off the plate. Manzardo's got to start thinking left field, and I think he is.
2 on, 2 out. The runners will go on the 3-2 pitch.
There you
Hammer
go.
right field, and it's a fair
you
ball
go.
into the corner. Manzo drives in a pair. He's into second base with a 2-out, 2-run double.
Yeah, that makes him feel good. That makes everybody feel good. Good swing, kept it fair. Had a good at-bat, a number of pitches seen, and he made a mistake. He left that changeup up, out over the plate. It speeds up his bat, and he pulls it and kept it fair.
That's only the third earned run charge to Lyon Richardson this year. And he also gives up an inherited run in this inning. Updating our Hyundai in the driver's seat with Jose Ramirez now an 11-game hitting streak.
It just keeps on going, doesn't it?
37-game on-base streak. He's batting almost 400 in that 37-game on-base streak. He is hitting 400 in his last 33 games. Tops it foul. The RBI double came batting right-handed. Roller to second. McLean throws him out. Guardians tack on 2. They lead now 7-1 after 4.
Well, Guardians group outings are the perfect way to entertain clients. You can spend time with family and friends and celebrate special events. Call 216-420-HIT so you can visit cleguardians.com/groups for more information.
Connor Joe steps to the plate 0 for 1. Mary Jo Holker turns 85 today, living in Alabama. Her and her sister, Sue, were raised in Struthers, Ohio.
Wow, Struthers, the home of Tom Bochetti.
And Andy Costco. The sisters grew up listening to Jimmy Dudley. They have been fans a long time, and they've got the package arts. They watch us every day.
Nice. Happy birthday.
The girls played for the semi-pro fast pitch team known as the Hubbard Girls. And Sue says at 13 she was the youngest girl on the team. Ground ball to first. Santana will take it himself. 2 down. So happy birthday to her sister Jo Holker.
Hometown. Boy, Tommy.
Tommy probably did stats for the Hubbard Girls.
I bet he did. I'm sure he still got him at the house.
He's probably got the scorebook in his house. I guarantee it.
He does.
Beverly's probably like, could you throw some of these out? Do we really need the 1983 media guide?
Yes, Arch is in that. We got to keep it.
It's the last one.
That was his last one, right?
Matt McLean with 2 down here in the 5th inning. A little high. 2 balls and a strike. McLean drew the only walk that Logan Allen has issued today.
Well, Logan has had it. He's pitched very well. I mean, he just hit the 70 pitch mark. He's in the 5th. Got 2 outs here. Gave up a home run and a single. That's it.
Off the end of the bat, that'll fall in center field.
Well, he might have been looking for that little changeup down, I think.
First hit in the series for McLean. Award now from Ford.
See your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers, home of the best-selling truck.
And now Garrett Hampson. He grounded out. Actually grounded into a double play in the 3rd inning. Takes a strike. One ball and 1 strike. Ate him up with a good fastball. Maybe that little breather the Guardians gave Logan Allen has
Helped him out.
given that fastball some good life.
You could be right, and that helps because it was about 12 days, wasn't it? I mean, he did pitch an inning in relief, and he did throw some side session in the bullpen.
I mean, smoked him.
Yeah.
Another good fastball. His 5th strikeout of the day. 3 hits. Leading off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Lyon Richardson goes inside with the fastball for a strike. Santana, the second oldest player in club history to hit a grand slam at 39 years and 64 days. Mickey Vernon in 1958 was already 40. High fly ball, right field. Fighting the sun, Connor Joe. He's got the glasses on. He makes the catch, one down. T-Mobile coverage cam. 15 years ago to the day, Carlos Santana made his major league debut.
Like you don't remember 15 years ago, but he said thank you after he hit the grand slam. He said that's the way to celebrate it.
You just keep going. You don't look back.
Right.
You look forward.
Exactly.
All right, Satchel.
You have to when you get it all the time. Start looking
I
back.
like what Marcus Dupree said that Barry Switzer told him. Can't get them green bananas no
You
more.
don't buy green bananas anymore. Well, Santana, I mean, it's been fun. We've had an opportunity to watch almost his entire career.
Yeah, at 3 different times, yes.
But Matt, I always go back to when he was in Pittsburgh, and we watched him work early with guys. And remember, he looked at you and I, and he was sweating, and it was early in the day, and he goes, "You got to keep working." He goes, "These kids got to learn. You got to work. You can't just be out here being pretty. You got to work." And that's what he has done for 15 years.
That's how you stay around for 15 years.
Off the end of the bat, and it kicks foul. The first insight that you ever gave me into what goes into being a big league ball player is when you said to me, talent might get you here to the big league level. You might have enough talent to get here, but the only thing that will keep you here is hard work every single day and the consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what I think of when I see Carlos Santana.
Well, you look at all those guys that stay around.
And Jose, obviously.
You look at the guys that stay around that long, and they stand out. You know, they're not normal. They do the work. They are out there every day. That's what you have to do to stay here. Because there's always someone trying to take your job.
Right.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 2 down. And look, I think the key is you make the kind of money you can afford to do some things that you couldn't do maybe when you're a young player, but he hired a personal chef. You know, he pays attention to what he puts in his body on a daily basis because look, when you get over 30, things change. He's creeping in on 40, and he's still playing at a young man's pace.
Yeah,
he doesn't look like a 39-year-old
No,
guy.
he has improved his defense immensely.
The other thing is, remember he went to Nelson Cruz. He found other players that were deep in their careers. He went to Nelson Cruz and was like, "What do you do to keep going and play the way you did?" And he kind of got some of that routine, Matt, you're talking about from Nelson Cruz, who told him, "You got to get rest, you got to eat right," and he followed all of that, and it's working.
You know, and the funny thing of it is, he stayed and kept a house here in Cleveland all his whole career, and then until this offseason, he sold his house, and then they signed him the next day.
Yeah, the timing of that is just unbelievable.
From the Dominican, but he's a Midwesterner now.
I couldn't believe it. Well, you know, you keep your family where you feel comfortable, and he stayed here his whole career.
The 1-2. Jones fouls off the left out of play. I'll tell you the one thing, too, to wrap up on Santana. Jose Ramirez is not. He doesn't give out false hugs and false praise.
He will not.
He respects the heck out of
does.
Carlos Santana. That tells you everything you need to know about him. Swing and a miss, struck him out, inning over. We've played 5, Guardians 7, Reds 1.
Now I'ma pick you up at your place tonight.
Well, he's been a good player for all. I mean, those two. Remember, we were in Pittsburgh.
Right.
We put the numbers up, and McCutcheon and Santana together. How similar they were.
How about that? In the same day, they both hit home runs.
Yeah, remarkable.
Two of the oldest players in the league still going strong.
Speaking of going strong, Logan Allen pitching into the 6th inning. Third time through the order. T.J. Friedel is 0 for 2.
Matt, think about how good it's got to feel to have some run support. Just go out there and pitch and not worry about making a mistake.
Well, Logan's had his share of that.
That's true.
In the last couple of years,
He gets
the run support.
Yes, he does.
But he's fine, and I like what you said, Matt. That little rest might have done him a little bit of good.
You know what else, too? Working off Andre's point is that not only does it allow the pitcher to not have to feel like, man, if I make one mistake, this game can flip. But maybe Stephen Vogt and company can take a little bit of a breath. They don't have to worry about, we got to get somebody up. He's getting that third time through the order.
Yeah,
it's a one-run game. Everybody can sort of relax a little bit. I know there is no such thing when you're the manager of it until you get the 27th out, but
you got to keep right on going too, and that's what you have to do, boy. If you want to get your way out of a slump, you've got to work and work hard and just keep fighting.
Arch, I like what we talked about before the game with Logan Allen, and he's improved how he's used his fastball. He gave up a lot of home runs last year on that fastball.
Yes.
He's found a way to spot it better and use that sweeper or curve.
Yeah, the sweeper's been a big pitch for him.
Backdooring the right-hand hitters with it.
Yes. And you know what? He's pitching more. He's not throwing strikes. He used to be right in the strike zone, and he'd give up some 2-strike home runs when he does it. He's pitching now and moving hitters off the plate with the inside pitches, and he's done a nice job of navigating his way through lineups. Because look, he's been like a 5-inning pitcher for us right now. 2 times through the lineup, and that's hard to do if they get a crooked number early to stay in a ball game. If you're only going through it twice, so right now he's going through it for the 3rd time, and it's in the 6th inning.
Lane Thomas is out of room, and it's out of here, and a home run for T.J. Friedel, his 2nd in the series, 7th on the year, makes it a 7-2 game.
See, that's funny. They've been through the lineup 2 times. This is the leadoff man going for the 3rd time. He hit a homer. That looks like a fastball, and he doesn't miss it. He got it. That was middle third of the plate. He turned on it and hit a home run. So for Friedel, that'll be his 7th homer and the 2nd solo home run that Logan's given up today.
I like the comparison you made the first game with Friedel and Quan. Both smaller guys, but if you get inside and leave it,
They're
hurt you.
quick in there.
Yes, they are.
Because they don't change their swing, Andre. They don't try and hit them out.
Right.
They just try to hit line drives and base hits. You take base hits. When you put a good swing on it, the pitcher throws the home run, and you just put a good swing on it. That's all.
Change up, missed down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I popped to left. You know, I was just thinking about this, Rick. After that back-to-back changeups thrown here by Logan Allen. You know, we've seen today, in particular, he's had a changeup that has gone down and away. He's also had a changeup that's gone down and in. And I'm about to ask him because I was talking to Steve Sparks the other day, the Astros broadcaster and the former pitcher, and he told me he spent 6 years when he was in the minor leagues trying to figure out how to throw a changeup, and it was maddening until they finally figured out he can't pronate.
Yes.
He was a supinator. He just could not turn the ball over. And I wonder if maybe that's something that Logan Allen fights, trying to master that changeup, but just maybe it's hard for him to turn that thing over at times.
Well, you remember when he came up, Matt, they thought it was a splitter because of how he held it. Remember, he had a different way he held the changeup when he first came up. And you may be right. He's had to tinker with, the different ways of holding it.
We just think everybody should be able to throw a changeup, but some guys have a tough time with it, and that's why.
That's A lot of guys, you look and it looks natural when they're just throwing it that way. Their elbow allows them to do that, huh? When they're
Arch, I don't know how any of their elbows allow them to do what they do.
I know.
When they start talking about the finger pressure and this and then the elbow, I'm like, how in the world can you do that time after time?
Well, why do you see them when they're sitting in the dugouts? What do they have in their hand all day long?
Yep.
A baseball. And that's what they're getting. They're getting a feel.
Lane Thomas sliding to the seat of his pants to hold on, out number 2. Nice sliding catch. Got a good break on it.
Yeah, got a good jump on the coming off the bat.
He was smooth with that slide.
If Rick would have tried that at Cleveland Stadium, he would have jackknifed into the ground and flipped over about 3 times.
No, that's okay. I still think on that catch he could have ran through the ball to catch it. But he got there in plenty of time and got a good jump, and he went for the slide. But sometimes when you slide, your eyes change level, and you better catch the ball.
That's what I was going to ask you. When you go down like that, you got to keep your eyes on it, right?
Yes, because you're changing that eye level. If you run through it, you're okay. It doesn't bounce on you.
Arch, I need you to come out to a Little League game nowadays. Okay. So you can see them all with the gloves.
Oh,
and all you would go mad.
I know how kids, they see the big leaguers do it, they got to have the same thing.
That stuff is expensive, man.
I know it is. Well, that's why you're working so hard.
Exactly.
Swing and a miss. He gets his 6th strikeout in 6 innings of work. He's given up 2 solo homers. Outside of that,
Available for Sunday through Thursday games. Get your family value pack at cleguardians.com.
New pitcher for the Reds, another left-hander. This is Joe La Sorsa. Making just his second appearance since he was called up from AAA when they put Brent Suter on the bereavement list. Remember, Suter started a game against Cleveland, but they used an opener down in Cincinnati. Ripped to left field. Jonathan Rodriguez, he'll head to second base with a leadoff double here in inning number 6.
Well, he's going to get his first hit of the day. He gets a ball out over the plate and smokes it.
An infield hit and came around to score in the 4th inning. Bunts it out. He gets it down. Perfect bunt, and it's going to be an infield bunt single, and he's 2 for 3.
He was out bunting 2 days ago after him and Martinez were out, and they had the machine, and I'm telling you, he was working at it, and he gets it.
So Angel Martinez, who is 2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. He's the batter. Infield partway in for Cincinnati. Middle infielders double play depth, but they're not all the way back. He takes a fastball for a strike. 0-2. One hopper to short, and Ellie De La Cruz kicks it. A run will score. Everybody's safe. 8-2 Guardians. De La Cruz tried to scoop it, and he actually booted it.
I think he tried to be too quick. I don't know if he was going to get it and look the guy back at third and throw to first, but he couldn't catch the ball. Watch, he's coming up. He's looking. I think he was looking elsewhere, and he just never caught the ball.
Got up on the heel, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll go as another infield RBI single. Angel Martinez. Back-to-back infield hits after the bunt by Nunez. Still 2 on, nobody out. Lane Thomas singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Slicing down the right side. Over into the corner, Connor Joe. It's gone. That's a home run. It just did clear the wall in right field, right down the line. It hit the railing and ricocheted back on the field. So an opposite field 3-run homer for Lane Thomas. And the Guardians have struck for 4 here in the 6th inning. And they just blew the lid off this baby. It's 11-2. Wasn't sure if it was going to stay fair or not. And for a team that has been starved for offense, that's a great sign. And here's another good one. Kyle Manzardo's 2 for 2. Breaks his bat. It drops. 5 straight hits in the inning. Here's another look at this. Home run by
off because they're not used to seeing it carry like this. I mean, it's the weather. It really is.
They all are looking up going, how? That was only 94 off the bat.
Yes. See, it is real. The weather has been bad.
It shows. That is amazing.
So they've got a 3-run homer and a grand slam today. Because that pitch was down and away, and it didn't look like he was driving it that way, but he clipped it perfectly.
Smashed to short, backhanded by De La Cruz to second for one. On to first. They turn a spectacular double play.
Yes, they did.
Tell you what, L.A. De La Cruz kicked one earlier in the inning, but he made a fantastic play here. It's a progressive defensive play of the game.
It has to be. Are you kidding me? This is Ramirez running. He gets it and he spins and he throws it, and then they turn it to get a double play. Unbelievable.
Well, Matt, that's the conundrum of De La Cruz, right? He makes the spectacular plays. It's just the routine ones they need him to make more.
Well, that's been a knock on him. But, you come up and play this position because he can get to so many balls, Andre.
Right.
A lot of times he tries to throw, and, when most people can't get to him or they go through, it doesn't help because he tries to make every single play. He's got to learn when he can and he can't regarding the speed of the player.
Santana going the other way. Right field, back is Joe, and he'll make the catch just shy of the warning track. And the inning is over. Lane Thomas.
Can you ever get it right?
Standard suites and 1,776 on the party suites. For full info, go to premiumcleguardians.com.
You can see out. Look at the scoreboard. It's a little hazy. I don't know what they can see of us. Wow.
Logan Allen went 6 strong innings today. Cleveland Clinic called to the bullpen for Nick Enright, making his 7th appearance on the year. Logan Allen gave up just 4 hits, 2 solo homers, walked 1, struck out 6. Just what they needed.
Yes, they're right.
Especially on a day where you come out and swing the bats like they did. Santana calls off Nunez, 1 down. Because how many times do you see that, Rick, where you come out and you finally have a good day on offense, and then your pitcher coughs it up and
took some pressure off themselves, and then they relaxed and had a little fun this afternoon.
Yeah, you're right. By the time Cincinnati got their first run on the solo homer by Ellie De La Cruz, they were already up 5-0.
Yeah. Right after they get the crooked number, then they added on to 2, and then they put on 4 more.
2 down.
Stepping to the plate now for the Reds, right fielder Connor Joe.
Connor Joe 0 for 2. Checked, it was outside. Just a little off the plate. 3-1. Center field, Lane Thomas on the move, runs it down with ease. Stretch time in Cleveland. All Guardians today. The Oklahoma Sooners played in the Fiesta Bowl. And the story at the time goes that Barry Switzer was mad at Marcus because he showed up after their little break, you know, because the end of the regular season and then the bowl day,
right?
About a 6-week gap there. About 10, 15 pounds overweight. So Switzer was so mad at him, he only used him for 17 carries. 17 carries, 239 yards. A Fiesta Bowl record that I believe still stands to this day.
That's amazing.
Might have been better heavy, huh?
Right.
And here's the best part, because knowing Barry Switzer, the way we got to know him, you know, through the media over the year, he said after the game, if he had been in shape, he'd have run for 400 yards.
Andre, he's like me and you. We play better heavy.
That's right. That sounds like coaches I had. Never enough. Matt, did you ever think in your career you'd have a video or a picture of you talking?
No.
And Marcus Dupree taking a selfie?
No, that was fantastic.
Yes. By the way, he said there's a movie. They're working on a movie on his life. They told us earlier today.
It's an incredible story, no doubt about it.
Just a different time, and the story he told about his mom and making sure he was getting taken care of. There's a lot more to that story for people.
And nice to know that he still talks to Coach Switzer,
Right.
Because we all had those relationships, I think, when we were younger. Sometimes coaches told us things we didn't want to hear, but things we needed to hear. And I'm sure that's the kind of relationship he had with Barry Switzer. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gabriel Arias has struck out all 3 times today. Scott Barlow, the right-hander deals, and a bouncer off the plate. Dela Cruz throws him out. Barely, he almost threw it away. How about the box score? Fubo TV box score.
Needed this before you made this trip, because this road trip is pretty big to me, guys. What they have to face and what they have to go through. Seattle's got good pitching. We know the Giants.
So do the Giants.
They have good pitching. And with the A's, I told you earlier, Arch, you can look at the record all you want, but they score runs, especially in that ballpark that we're going to.
Yeah, and they give up a lot.
Yes,
too.
they do.
It's also, I think we sometimes get caught up in the hyperbole of the season, but it's an important juncture because it's tough to go out west and play.
Yeah,
it just
always has been.
Right? And the way this division is packed together,
No doubt.
Minnesota, Cleveland, Kansas City, a game and a half separates the 3 teams. That ball nicked him, and Nolan Jones will take his base. You just can't afford to allow this spiral to continue. They lost 6 out of 8 coming into today. So you stop it today, and hopefully you can start building some momentum the other way.
And you know what? Any
10 days living out of the suitcase, Dre. You ready?
I'm ready, baby. And hey, when we come home, it's not any easier, Arch. Toronto's playing good ball.
They're playing great.
And the team after that, St. Louis, it may be the surprise of the National League.
Those two are playing right now,
Yes,
and
they
they're
are.
having a pretty good series going on.
And the Reds are in the midst of the AL Central. I think they go home.
Yes, they go to
see
Detroit.
and then
they're off tomorrow.
Yes.
They go to Detroit, and then they
Minnesota
get
at home,
Minnesota.
yeah.
So maybe they'll start playing better and playing solid.
He went too far. Jonathan Rodriguez rung up by Adam Hammery down at first base. 2 down. Here you go, Dre.
Look at my man, Marcus Dupree.
He's taking a selfie.
I'm in the big league.
I'm on TV.
I'm on TV.
I'm a Matt Underwood.
Mama, I made it. I made it to sit with Arch.
Oh, forget Arch. Yeah, I'm with my man Matty.
I love it.
Yeah, if you notice that big giant chunk of jewelry, that was his Fiesta Bowl ring that he was wearing.
You know what? A couple of players asked me, they go, what are the rings he has on? I could go ask them, and they were afraid.
Yeah. I'd be afraid too. 0-1 to Dom Nunez. And that's in there for a strike.
Matt, that's the one thing that still amazes me. We're around all these athletes all the time, and we get to see them. Check the ring out. There it is. He had to take it off the throw. He's trying to throw a curveball is what he told everybody. And the ring was getting in the way.
Swung out and missed. Dom Nunez down swinging to end the 7th. 11-2 Guardians. All right, full transparency. At any point during your career, did you sneak a fistful of ballots and punch your name in, punch the hole for your name with a bunch of them?
No.
Never did? Never tried to swing the vote a little bit?
No.
Come on, man. How about your brothers?
No, they were too busy fighting somewhere up in the seats.
There was a truckload of ballots that went missing outside of Niagara Falls.
They'd rather stuff
They
you.
didn't deliver them.
They punched out the wrong name, though.
Yeah, right.
I missed the
There you go.
Oh, right
that
up
was
there.
coming pretty
That was
hard.
going Carlos.
You didn't want any piece of that.
Carlos was trying to work it.
That was the ugly finder coming to Carlos.
I know we're in the computer age and newspapers don't come to people's houses anymore, but Matt, I kind of want one of those ballots. It was fun as a kid to be able to get
Fun.
those.
It was. There was something
Yes.
about the ballot itself. You had to get a little pencil. And you had to
Right,
push
Chad.
it through all the holes
Chad.
for the players you wanted, and then you put it in a little box. You could only do it at the ballpark. You couldn't do it online. You couldn't
Right.
do it anywhere else. You had to go to the game to get one. Line drive, barely into center field, and Angel runs it down. Actually, somebody I'm sure will correct me on this. I don't think you could get it anywhere else. Could you? Did they have them at stores, or maybe at the team shop you could maybe get a ballot?
I mean, people, the concessioners
ushers would
would
hand
get.
them out.
I mean, they'd give out so many of them. You can go ahead and do as many as you want. But you know, when we were in the big ballpark back at the stadium, there wasn't many people there to hand them out.
That's why they gave you so many.
That's right. Well, we've got plenty more. You want some to take home?
I'm sure you'll get some Twitter stories coming your way, Dre. There have to be fans that remember punching out ballots and just trying to for their favorite player. You know, back in the '70s, maybe somebody punching out Dwayne Kuiper's name 100 times a night, in your name, Arch, or Toby or Grover, whoever. I mean, I'm sure people have stories of doing that.
Without a doubt.
The 1-1.
Send those to Andre Knott. Give him your
They
address.
know how they know it. Leave me alone. I'll be getting them until I see you again.
That's right. That'll be a while.
I know you'll be watching.
I've never asked you this before. Did you ever get close at All-Star voting? Do you know? You remember?
No, I don't. I mean, back then,
If you didn't play in a big city, it was tough to get voted in.
It was.
And then I don't
It was
remember.
from Cleveland, and you always had to have one representative.
Right.
And rarely did we ever have more than one. And, there was they picked 3 outfielders, and, the pitchers were obviously picked by managers.
Well, obviously the one I remember is 81, and Lenny Barker gets the pitch. Jack Moore starts the game, and then Lenny came in and pitched lights out in the All-Star game that year.
Yes, he did. He got a kiss from Organa, too.
Yes, he did. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled back out of play.
Yeah, but that was sort of a strange year for the All-Star game because they went on strike that year, and it came back. And the first game back after the strike was the All-Star game in Cleveland, and we had to happen to have it that year in Cleveland, which was, it wasn't the right
disappointing.
time. It was very disappointing.
Yeah.
It was a good game, but it was disappointing to have it that year.
The 1-2. The amazing thing about that was that there was a Browns exhibition game, and the next day was the All-Star game.
Of course.
So
Imagine that today.
So many games. I had a lot of games like that.
Imagine being an all-star.
How about the rock concerts through the summer? We'd come home off the road and playing. They'd have the big old rock concerts going all day, 6 different groups or whatever.
They had to have it while you were out of town.
Sure they did. But they never cleaned it up when we got back in.
Bobby D told me the story that, the grounds crew, imagine the work the grounds crew had to do to turn over the stadium from a football field game to the All-Star game in 24 hours, less than 24 hours.
And the goalpost was right at the pitcher's mound. So they had to take out the pitcher's mound.
And then put it back in.
And then get it and put it back in, right, and have it ready to go.
A bunch of the sports writers that were covering both the football and then the All-Star game, they went out and bought cases of beer for the grounds crew guys because they said, "Hey
they
guys,
were.
you guys are working your
Oh, yeah,
tails off."
absolutely. And I'm sure they had to bring in guys that have never done it before just for help. Good pitch.
Two down, a runner at first base. Santiago Espinal, the batter, 1 out of 3. Foul off the bat. Bobby D tells the story too. Before the All-Star game that year at Cleveland Stadium, he went in to get Phil Segui to take him on the field to do an interview, and he wasn't in his office. Vice President George Bush was sitting in there on the telephone.
Is that right?
And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. There weren't any Secret Service people guarding the door or anything." And he walked in and he said he and the Vice President sat and talked baseball.
I always knew Bobby D was presidential.
Oh, he was.
Well, if you want any stories about it back then, ask Bobby D.
Ask any story, period.
And he'll have you there for an hour telling you. If you need any stories from me, ask him too. He remembers more than I do.
We know.
1-2 pitch, fouled right back. The best story of that season was that during the players' strike, our guy, along with some of his teammates, stayed in shape by playing softball.
Oh, yeah.
The 1-2.
Strike.
No.
There weren't any facilities, though, for you guys to go and hit and stay in shape in back there.
No, they didn't have. No, you couldn't use it. You couldn't go to the field.
go
You
to the
couldn't do it.
stadium.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything.
Arch, what were people like when they saw big leaguers coming to their softball games to play against
They
them?
were saying, "What's he doing here?" They loved it, though.
I'm sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd go out to Mayfield and played with Da Vinci's Pizza.
He remembers that.
And I was throwing guys out at home plate that they. I think half of them must have been drunk. I don't know. It was fun. I mean, that was 81. We weren't doing anything, so you went out and had a good
I was
time.
going to say, as a ball player, you don't get to go do things like that in the summer usually anyway.
That is correct. And we were off for quite a while, 50-some days, I think.
Did you go stir crazy, though, because your whole life had been around baseball and it was taken away?
Well, not really, because at that time my wife was pregnant with my daughter in 81, and she was born in July. So I couldn't, I had to get out of the house, go play some ball.
This inning is getting over. Perfect time for you.
I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
We'll be back with more of the Rick. it with a 3-run homer in the 6th inning as he works his way back into everyday playing shape. Lane is waiting in the on-deck circle. Angel Martinez facing Ian Jabot, the 5th pitcher of the game for Cincinnati. Nick Lodolo, the starter, gave up a season equaling high 6 earned runs in just 3 1/3 innings.
And he had an ERA on the road of 1.25 coming into this ball game today.
So again, it kind of goes back to the old familiar theme that we've been hitting on quite a bit is when pitchers execute their pitches, it's really tough to hit, okay? When they make mistakes, you better
hit.
Pounce on them, and they did today.
Yes, they did. I mean, you see the difference. And the key was scoring in the first inning. Mm-hmm. It may sound silly, but they put one on the board. But for this team, it's not, because that's their MO. If they can score early, then that pitching staff takes over. But then they were able to add on a couple times with some crooked numbers, and that's how you separate yourself in a ball game instead of playing these close 1- and 2-run games.
Chased one down and in. Lane Thomas with a big home run in that 6th inning.
You'll take that, right?
Oh my goodness, it's the greatest thing that could happen to
We
him.
joke about, singles looking like line drives in the book, but nobody's going to remember at the end of the year that home run looked the way it looked.
That's a 3-run home run,
Right.
too. That's a bonus. You had 2 guys on.
All right, I got to give you guys some all-star ballot talk because it's coming in hot and heavy.
I figured it would.
And Matt, this is what I forgot. This is from Tom Hellion, and he said, I live far from Major League ballpark, so he picked up all-star ballots at the Gillette display and a drugstore.
That's right, Gillette
right.
all-star
Yes.
ballots. Right. Way to go.
He said he couldn't remember if he voted for Arch, though.
He didn't.
Come on, man.
Come on, Tom.
No.
Another one said that because it was sponsored by Gillette, you could request a ballot by mail, so they would mail it to you, and then you could mail it back to them.
Back in olden times.
Yeah. Kids are going, what?
Send it back by horse and
Carriage.
pony.
That's why you didn't make it. They didn't get all the horses to get them.
That's right.
Bring them back, MLB. Bring them back.
No, there's no way. Too many of them.
Yeah.
You have to vote online. Different times. You guys are getting old. You're remembering all that stuff.
Been around you.
No, you are.
Heads up. Heads up.
Well, I mean, I know they had a sponsor for the ballots,
Right.
Gillette.
Right.
So that probably helped defray the cost of printing all those ballots. How many millions of ballots would you have had to print up back then? Now, just vote online.
Yeah.
Ground ball between third and short in the hole and into left field, and Lane Thomas has his 3rd hit of the game.
All right. De La Cruz, if you do that, you know you hit it hard enough.
Kyle Manzardo coming up.
Been a good day for him.
Yeah.
It's been a good day for a lot of guys.
Pitch hit, 2-run double in the 4th, singled in the 6th.
Yeah, that was that first at-bat that he got the double and the 2 RBIs. That was a good at-bat that he needed. Stayed up there, had a full count, fouled off a pitch, and then finally drilled that double down the right field line. He made a mistake with a changeup,
But you said-
and it speeds the bat up on him.
But you said it during the at-bat. The big part was he saw, 8 pitches, maybe 7, 8 pitches in that
Yes.
at-bat? Then he got a broken bat single. The bat's over here. It's
And
about 3
that's the
pieces.
bonus. Now I want to see how he battles 0-2. And just don't go out there. See if he can get his way back into it. And not give any at-bats away. There you go. You got to take a couple of good pitches. They're going to try and get you to swing at. Zone into the strike zone.
Fernando Manzardo, I talked about it. He's one of at least 5 guys on a regular basis in this lineup that has fewer than a full season's worth of plate appearances.
Right.
And Stephen Vogt said before the game, he's like, you might have 2,000 plate appearances and still think too much when you're in the plate. But when you have that few, you just don't have a lot of experience to draw on.
There you go, 0-2 to 3-2. Now, stay as patient as you have been after you've been down in the account. If you get a good pitch, let it fly. Don't be afraid to take your walk.
Popped it up, shallow center. In comes Friedel. 2 down. Since 1940,
Yeah, that's right.
He was doing it.
Walking to knock a day. That's right. That was his philosophy. Stay away from a slump if you can get that knock and a walk.
The thing I love, when you kind of talked about this with Carlos Santana earlier, about all the hard work. But we know this, and everybody in this whole park knows, even though the score is a score, this is still a big at bat to Jose. He's not going to,
no, there's no giving away. Not every swing is going to be perfect. Not every pass at the ball is going to be beautiful, but he doesn't give them away.
Bingo. And that's why Jose is so good. Jose is Jose. He never, to that last out. And the remarkable thing is he plays every day and never takes it off.
Right center. Friedel on the move makes the catch to retire the side. We'll go to the ninth. Emmanuel Clase on road trip. It starts tomorrow. I should say not tomorrow, but Friday night in Seattle. Bo Naylor on to catch. And Ellie De La Cruz, 1 out of 3 with a home run. Takes ball 1. Back through the middle. You know, Rick, there's been a lot of people that have asked us, you and me, let alone fans of the team, you know, what's wrong with Class A? Well, he's gave up a lot of hits early in the year. He was making mistakes on the plate, and even at 99 and 100 miles an hour, hitters go up there, they're looking aggressive. They're going to try to swing at something early in the count, and when he was on the plate, he was getting hit. But I feel like he's definitely righted the ship.
Oh, he is. I mean, his stuff is too good. I mean, not to. But you can't be perfect like he was last year.
And that's my point. So you look at Class A, Gaddis, Smith, Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis, Manuel Class A, the big three. And no. Yeah, got him in the helmet. Oh, the air flap. And with the velocity he throws at, that's very scary. So now 2 on as Encarnacion Strand takes his base. Remember, he just came off the injured list to start this series. But you can see Tito asking, are you all right?
I mean, that's serious concern right there. He didn't go down, but I mean,
when an object comes at your head at that kind of velocity,
that's scary. That's really, really scary. There's no way you can. Oh, boy, he's lucky, and that's a blessing there. Very dangerous.
So 2 on, nobody out. Spencer Steer, the batter. I was going to say, though, when you talk about the big three, and this is not to exclude Tim Herron from the conversation, but you'll see why in a minute. When you look at Class A, Gaddis and Smith, what they did last year was almost superhuman. It was Class A's earned run average for the year was 0.61. Gaddis 157. Smith 191. I mean, 3 guys under 2, one of them under 1. And this year, okay, Class A's at 3.5. That's still very respectable for a reliever. Gaddis is actually better. He's at 140. Smith a little higher, about a half a run higher, 248.
Yeah, you know what? You're not going to have the same thing every year, though. That's the whole point.
Bingo.
You're not going to have it or get better every year. You're going to have years that go your way, some that don't. I mean, and they logged the innings. They had a perfect year. I mean, for a bullpen, it couldn't have went any better for this bullpen.
2-2 pitch to Spencer Steer is low, full count. Well, do you remember the 1990 Cincinnati Reds bullpen?
The Nasty Boys?
The Nasty Boys. They were so good they had their own nickname. Might be the only bullpen in history that literally had its own nickname. Foul back out of play. That bullpen was so dumb, and I'm talking about Rob Dibble and Randy Myers and Norm Charlton.
Right.
They were so dominant that they literally carried the Reds to the pennant and to the World Series, swept the heavily favored Oakland A's, swept them in the World Series. Because if they had the lead late, it was over, much like Cleveland's bullpen a year ago. But how difficult is that to repeat? Well, take a look. Cincinnati's bullpen in 1990. Look at the top.
that arm's not going to be the same the next year you come back. It just won't be.
And that Nasty Boys bullpen, as good as it was, didn't stay together very long. Eventually, Randy Myers was traded. Norm Charlton went with Pinella to Seattle.
Yeah, right.
Dibble got hurt, was never quite the same. But man, for 1 year, they were.
It's fun. It's a treat to watch. When they're that good. You're saying, okay, boys, and you believe. You have a belief. Let's just get the lead, and it's over. Game's over. And that's what we did last year. Hey, let us take the lead after 6, and it's our ball game. And it pretty much was. He swung.
I see Colby Allard up in the bullpen, and the reason for that is they are not going to let Clase throw too many pitches to where this could impact the next series. Fly ball right field.
Well, we've got an off day tomorrow, so he can get some work in, and he chewed one more hitter.
But once they had the first 2 on, they're probably thinking, if this gets in, we can't have him go 30 pitches.
Somebody ready.
So 2 on, 2 out. 28,564 on a sun-splashed afternoon here at Progressive Field, up on their feet. Finally, a game that's been a lot of fun for Guardians fans to watch. 11 runs on 13 hits. Up and away at 99. Heck, the other day, even Terry Francona asked you and I, what's been going on with Clase this year? I mean, it's been one of the...
What's wrong with it?
When you're superhuman 1 year, people want to know what the heck happened.
When you follow him from a distance and you don't get to see him every day. You know, he was just... It was command of the baseball is what it boiled down to.
One strike away from putting the finishing touches on this one for Clase. Swing and a miss. Book it. The Guardians salvage the finale against the Reds, winning in commanding fashion. 11-2 is the final score. They stop Cincinnati's 5-game win streak, and the Reds will head out of town 35-34 on the year. And the Guardians will move out west, and they are 35-32 on the season. Logan Allen the win.